day after day after day, these stocks continue to rise. The question is, why? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Look at this chart here. It is quite impressive. You can see the FANG stocks have risen practically unfazed over the past few years. So we have to ask the question, why is this happening? Because we know it's not the entire sector. That is a fact. I've covered it here on the channel before. I've shown you the proof. Central banks have been printing money. They've been buying the shares. We know that. And when you look at this compared to the financial crisis that we had a few years ago now, what we had was a time in which fewer and fewer opportunities were available, and so the money that wanted to go somewhere ended up all flowing into one thing, and it was technology that was the last to fall. The same thing may happen this time. We can definitely see that it is receiving a lot of the funding, that's for sure. So let's take a deeper look at the F in FANG, Facebook. This chart looks even better than the FANG overall, and over the last 5 years it has done incredibly well. So, do we draw this dotted line in the same direction? Perhaps. Certainly could. Now we're at about 170 at the time of this recording. But what about Zuckerberg? Well, the fifth richest person in the world plans to sell as much as 18% of his Facebook stock during the next 18 months. It's a fact. He doesn't need the money. He really doesn't need this money. He has a lot of it. Maybe he's going to essentially take profits from what he has. He says he wants to use it for the whole philanthropic causes. You know, I have a difference of opinion. But anyway, I think that he could be taking the profit sharing. He would know before anything's going to happen. And if he does actually sell, I think it's bad news. Usually they tend to buy more. At least the company engages in stock buybacks when they want to secure everything. I think that this could be a warning sign, although it's too early to tell. He owns a lot. He's claiming that he wants to sell off and give the money to others. We'll see if he actually does that. It will be a nearly $13 billion giveaway. So we'll see what happens there. I don't trust this guy for a minute, but anyway. Looking at Apple, Apple's taken a little turn for the worse here. September has been a tough month for Apple. Everything that happened with the iPhone. First they said there was going to be delays. Then nobody was lined up for the new iPhone. So they've been into some trouble. But the FANG stocks in general, see, there's diversification, which you should need. But in this world, all you would have needed was 4 stocks. You bought 4 stocks and you would have done very well. Perhaps still continuing. Who knows? Leverage loans are back on pace to top the pre-financial crisis records. How many times have you heard me say this? I'm a broken record. Things have surpassed the financial crisis because we are in the financial crisis part 2. Everyone asks me, when is it going to happen? We are in it already. If you exclude the stock market, suddenly we get a very, very different picture. All right. Volume on the leverage loans is up 53% this year. Let's look at these charts. total leveraged loan issuance year to date, what I noticed here is that since the financial crisis, it's been escalating. And comparing there, all I know is that whenever we exceed what has happened within the financial crisis, we just tack it on, we pile it on. And I can tell you right now that this isn't a good thing. There's leverage being used, there's margin being used, and it's being done so relaxed. It's no problem. Give them more mortgages. Just lower the interest rates. Give them the cheapest rate possible. Let them take a home equity line of credit. Let them take a second mortgage. Let them do whatever they want because everything is going to be just fine. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. I'm your wake-up call, and somebody has to say it because you're not going to get it in the financial media, that's for sure. All right, then we look at what's happening in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the reason I wanted to mention this, not to talk about, the news essentially, but cash only. Their systems went down and cash became the only game in town. So while I'm not a fan of currencies, in an emergency situation, cash is very important. So having some on hand may be valuable. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, emergency situation, this is what happened. It was valuable. That's all. All right, Venezuela, sad story, usually is. In Venezuela, there were teachers and doctors. To buy more food, they had to sell their bodies. So, I feel terrible about this, reading about it. I don't know. It's, it may be just a small percentage of people, but even that is just sad. It's sad to see what's happening there. They're just one country. And that's all. All right. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. You can obviously hear from my voice. I'm a little under the weather, but that doesn't stop me. More videos to come. If you found the video informative, I know you'll find my books, The Money GPS, and my new release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. Links are in the description below. You can check out my videos on Steemit. I'm on VidMe. There's all sorts of links in the description. Take care.